In part 3, I left off talking about how on November 7th, 2019, Angelina's father and I had an agreement with no trial that we were going to be allowing us both to have joint legal custody of Angelina and that I would have primary residency. The order said that Matt's visits would be worked out on a week-by-week basis. This is what our final agreement looked like. And it specified that he would have to pay $120 a week in child support. And there were some pickup schedule until January of 2020 when it was set to change to dad's visits will be worked out on a week-by-week basis. The judge put in that the parties agree that they will share joint legal custody and the minor child will have primary residency with the mother, which is me. Almost immediately after this was signed and that court date was over, he began trying to beg and coerce me to get back with him. He said that he wanted to do co-parenting therapy, relationship therapy. He wanted to do anything possible to prove to me that he wanted to be together. And in spite of the fact that we had gone to court and that he was paying child support, he said he would still continue to pay me child support and leave everything the way it was in court, but that he wanted me to give him another chance. So that was the end of 2019. Then in the beginning of 2020, COVID happened. When COVID happened, he basically gave me an ultimatum and said to me that I had to either quarantine with him during the shutdown or that he was going to go back to his mom's house and quarantine with her. He said that he wasn't going to go back and forth, and so that if I didn't let him live with me during the quarantine, then he was going to not see me or Angelina for the entire 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was. So during COVID, I decided to let him live with me. And from January of 2020 until June of 2020, when we had a huge argument on Father's Day and he decided to leave and go back to his mom's house permanently, we were together that whole time. January, February, March, April, May, and then once June hit, that was it. He went back to his mom's house. After moving back to his mom's house, Matthew began to exhibit many of his old behaviors of excessive drug and alcohol usage, risk-taking behaviors, and engaging in sex addiction. Things progressively worsened between us. Throughout this whole entire time, I continued to parent Angelina without his help, and he would only visit her whenever it was convenient for him. In the fall of 2020, Matthew told me that he had a new girlfriend and that he was deeply in love with her, and that he planned to marry her and get her pregnant. He told me that she was younger, skinnier, more attractive, and better than me in every way possible. He told me that he was deeply in love with her and that he would never want to try to be back with me ever again because of how much he loved this new girl. When I asked him who she was, he told me he could never tell me who she was because he was scared that if I knew who she was, that I would ruin her life. In December of 2020, I received a DM in my Instagram inbox from a man who claimed that Matthew was sleeping with his girlfriend of 6 years. He said that he caught Matthew with his girlfriend, Jessica Maybeck, the 18-year-old daycare teacher / babysitter that worked at Angelina's daycare, Woodbridge Child Center, and sometimes babysat for us in our home. He stated that he tried to fight Matthew, but that Matthew just locked the door of his car, hid inside of his car, and started to record him, and then threatened to call the police. The man told me that he was deeply hurt to find out that his girlfriend had been lying to him and sleeping with Matthew behind his back. He told me that the girlfriend even went so far as to lie and tell him that she was at my house babysitting Angelina, when in reality, she was sleeping at Matt's house and cheating on her boyfriend with Matt. This was how I found out that Matthew, who was almost 40 years old at the time, was sleeping with the 18-year-old daycare teacher and babysitter that we had hired to help take care of Angelina, who was only 19 months old at the time. After Jessica's boyfriend, Nick, found out about Matt, Jessica stopped talking to Matt and decided to go back to her boyfriend. At that point, Matthew began to relentlessly beg for me to take him back, which I refused. He began stalking me and trying to show up at my house unannounced and uninvited on numerous occasions, many times at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning when he was blackout drunk. If I didn't answer the door, he would bang on the door and ring the doorbell 100 times and eventually break in through a window if I ignored him. Here is footage of him trying to break into my house from 2020, which I showed to the police and they refused to do anything about it.